Welcome again, everyone, to the EFT Tapping meeting. Today, I would like to discuss about my experience while I was traveling last week and how tapping got me through. I did not prepare for this speech, or, well, I don't know if I'll call it a speech, but I did not prepare for this share. I just, while I was traveling and whenever I would tap, I would think, I'd love to share this in this meeting to you all because it really, really helped me. So while traveling, it was a very last minute travel, meaning I had less than a week to book flights, book hotel, just, do the whole shebang of traveling. And so I thought everything went great, right? I booked the hotel, I arrived there. I'm so excited. I thought I did it. Less than a week. I planned this whole trip. But when I got to the hotel, I booked the wrong hotel. Apparently, there's so many hotels with the same name and in many different locations. And I was in a country I've never been in, a town I've never been in. And so even the addresses just looked really confusing to me. That was a good chunk of money. And I booked a non-refundable hotel because it was cheaper. And, I thought, yay, a cheaper hotel. But it came and bit me in my butt. So I'm standing there in the hotel lobby and I don't know what to do. I just traveled more than 15 hours. I am tired. I have barely slept and I'm freaking out. I don't want to go and sit down somewhere and do a whole tapping session. In fact, I'm not in the mindset for it at all. Then I remembered the gamut point. So the gamut point is the ring finger and pinky in between over here. And so I just start tapping while I'm standing in the hotel lobby, tapping, tapping, tapping. And I'm not saying anything. I am feeling all the feels, the stress, the fear, the anxiety. It's just all there. And I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping. And the person working in the hotel lobby, the receptionist, actually was so kind. She said, let me help you book a hotel. Let me do it for you. So she sits there and looks for the nearest hotel, which near enough. But one reason I was panicking as well was because that area, for some reason, all the hotels were booked. The hotel I went to as well was fully booked. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm here for my friend's wedding. I need a hotel close to the wedding. I can't just travel so far. I don't have a car. I don't have, there's no proper public transportation there. There's no Uber or anything. So I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping. And finally, she books a hotel for me. And it's close enough, like a 15-minute walk from where I was. So I start walking. And the whole time I am walking, I am just tapping and tapping and tapping. And as I feel the shame, because why didn't I book it properly? Why didn't I double check the addresses? But anyway, I can't go back to that. So I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping. And instead of breaking down and crying, I was able to start noticing everything that I was walking around. Newtown, I'm exploring, I'm noticing everything and just tapping. I'm not saying anything. I'm not talking because I am so upset and I'm just walking and tapping and I could suddenly feel the cold air, the oxygen I'm breathing in. I can suddenly notice these new plants I've never seen before, the architecture, and I'm just tapping all the way through till I get to the hotel, the new hotel. I get to the new hotel and it's locked. And I'm so close to being at that line of check-in time. So I'm panicking again. I don't have a European number. There's a number there. If it's locked, call this number. I don't know anyone. I don't know who to call. I don't know what to do. I don't have internet. Tap, 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 tap. Like I'm almost freaking out again. I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping. So I was able to breathe. I was able to calm down. And then I realized, what if I knock? So I start knocking, and someone actually opens the door and helps me check in. Now, I check in, I'm feeling a bit better, but there's still that, not fear, there's that stress because of the money. I paid double for one hotel because of the other hotel was just gone. So I just start tapping while I shower. Literally the whole time, I can't stop doing this. And I think it was the only reason why I didn't break down crying and just give up, because there has been in the past where I'm in a really unknown situation. I don't know what to do, and I just give up. But I was very confident that I would not give up this time. I was like, no, I came all the way here. I want to have fun, right? Like, okay, there's this little bump over here. So I tap and I tell myself, nothing is perfect, right? Traveling does not always have to be perfect. Would have been cool if it was, but it wasn't. But if this is the only bump I will have in this trip, I think I'm okay. And so I go through the day, the night, the next day, I'm okay. I go to the wedding, everything is fine. I'm not thinking about the fact that I just lost money from the hotel. And after the wedding, I go over to my uncle's house. And so where I went was in Europe, a small town in England. And of course, if I'm there, I'm gonna want to travel London. So I didn't book my hotel in London yet, which I'm so grateful for I didn't. Um, I was tapping and I said, God, you have to pay for my trip. Right? I don't know how you're gonna pay for this trip. I don't know what's gonna happen. You have to pay for my trip because the budget I had for the hotel in London, I used it for the second hotel in the smaller town in England. My God, I don't know what to do. You got to fix this. I get to my uncle's place and he says, he gives me two options. He says, by the way, and I don't tell him, by the way, about this hotel or anything. He just offers, he says, you can either stay here with me or I will book you your hotel. And I'm like, no, you don't have to book me my hotel. That's okay. And I really considered staying there, but part of me didn't want to because it's far from London and because the bedrooms were limited and I didn't want to take over their place. So um, I agree. He booked me my hotel and he gives me cash just so I have cash to go around Europe. And how I expected God to give me money was not this at all, but somehow God paid for my trip, paid for, shopping, like whatever food I needed, hotel, God just paid for it. And I think the biggest thing from that, what I got was if my energy was, oh my God, this happened. I don't think someone will be like, hey, you know what? Let me help you. Let me give you this money and let me pay you for this hotel. The whole time when I was with my uncle, I was talking about how grateful I was. Oh, I'm so grateful that this happened. I'm grateful I got the second hotel. I'm grateful. Like, I tell him the whole story, and everything was gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And yes, there was some stress inside of me, but because I was tapping and not even tapping all the points, I picked one. I picked this. Because I was tapping, my outlook and my perspective of the trip was gratitude. And that energy of gratitude that I had all around me, gratitude kept coming into my life. My uncle wanted to help me. When I got to London, I kept meeting good people who kept helping me. I don't know anything about the town, but there are people who would just come and help me or talk to me or be friendly. And if my energy was, oh my God, I am stressed, then I would attract stressful situations more and more and more. The whole trip, I had that one stressful situation. And I believe it's because when I booked the hotel while I was here in America, I was stressed. I was so stressed. I was like, I have to book this now. I have to do this now. I have to do now. I did not tap while booking or planning the trip, but I did tap when I got there. And everything just turned out beautifully. My trip was paid for just as I told God, God, you got to pay for my trip. Everything just worked out so, so perfectly. Now, another bump in this whole travel situation or travel experience was that I met some people from my past, from when I was living in the Philippines, and I was much, much thinner. So coming to America, I have gained I have this excess weight. And I was really sad when I got back because my friends started posting pictures from the wedding. And I was like, oh no, her friends are going to see it. My friends that we have in common are going to see it. People are going to see that I have all this excess weight. And that is a big insecurity I have. I was really down when I got back. And so, of course, I tapped. I still did not do this, just wasn't ready. Just tap. I don't even have to say anything for the most part. Just tap while I'm thinking about all the reasons why I feel horrible about this. Tap, 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 tap. And then I came to a realization, if the tapping brought me into a state of calm and gratitude while I was in my trip, how can I bring gratitude to this situation? Even though in that moment I didn't want to think of why I'm grateful that I have this excess weight, or why I'm grateful that people are going to see now that I have this excess weight, because for a long time I was able to hide it. Um, I realized while tapping, if I didn't have my excess weight, I would never try to cook healthy. And if you know about anything about my cooking, I am super into trying to cook healthy with Ayurvedic herbs and just making my food a spiritual experience. I would never do that if I didn't have excess weight. I hired a gym trainer. This gym trainer that I have today, he does not focus on weight loss. He focuses on strength. I have shoulder issues, ankle stuff. I focus on strength now. And I would never have exercised for strength if I had excess weight. I only ever exercise to lose weight. So just cardio most of the time. Today I do strength exercises. And so as I was tapping, I have all this gratitude, right? Like, okay, thank you, excess weight, for the wonderful changes in my life. But I still feel bad that people can see it. Like, I wish I could just hide it from them. And I was talking to my sister and I was telling her this, and she said, what if you disconnect whatever connection you have to these people who I haven't talked to in years, who I haven't met in years? What if I do some disconnection, whatever? And so while tapping, I imagined this connection with them, which didn't make sense because I don't talk to them. I haven't seen them in years. I probably will never see them again. And I took that connection out and I put it back, and I started noticing, if these people are judging me, it's because they're judging themselves. If these people are saying anything bad about me, about my weight, about how I look, it's because maybe they don't feel good about how they look. And I was able to come to this peace because I just chose one point and I tapped and I tapped and I tapped. And oh my God, I tapped and tapped the whole trip, every single day. Tap, 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 tap. And I started my day with this. I ended my day with this. I had my middle days with this. And I chose one point. I did not do a whole tapping session. I did not say any affirmations. Sometimes I did, but for the most part, I just tapped while walking, while I was in the train, while I was in the cab, while I'm walking up to the hotel. Tap, tap, tap. And I think that really made my trip prosperous. I came back with a new sense of gratitude around finances, that it it wasn't that I suddenly won the lottery and had so much money when I came back, but when I came back, I felt more abundant. The exact same amount in my bank account. I felt abundant because I had the energy of gratitude. And gratitude can come if you release whatever is blocking you from that gratitude, because your natural state is love, is gratitude, peace, faith, and all these other things that come on top, the stress, the anxiety, the fear, the anger, they can be released through tapping. And you can pick whatever point you want. You can do it for as short as you want, as long as you want, whatever format you want. You tap, you're releasing. That's all you are doing. And when we release what does not serve us, we can come back to our real natural state of gratitude, love, peace, faith. And so that was my trip. I couldn't have gone through without it. I couldn't have gone through the trip without my tapping. And I'm just really, really, really grateful that I had tapping. I don't know how I traveled before without it. Definitely lots more bumps, definitely lots more crying. This time I didn't cry. I felt bad for a bit. I tapped it out and I enjoyed my whole trip. I came back and I'm so excited to share this with you. So thank you for hearing my story of how tapping got me through my travels. Thank you.